Welcome to Self-Powered Healing. I'm Barbara McNeely, your host and the creator of Self-Powered Healing, where we are talking about how you can unleash your innate healing ability. By the way, for this month of November, I've accepted the challenge to publish 30 podcast episodes in 30 days. It's called National Podcast Post Month, or NaPodPoMo for short. It was created by Jennifer Navarrete in 2007, and this year, 2024, is the 17th year of the challenge. Enjoy.
When does the illness really start? When I think about the arthritis in my knees, I feel like I can go back to a certain day or a narrow window of time when I first noticed the pain. Or if I think about my aortic stenosis that required open heart surgery, I go back to that day in a doctor's office when they heard a strange heart murmur. In either case, that's not really when it started. That was when the illness had progressed to a point of needing serious attention. They had both been there for a long time. Marcel Proust said, "Illness is the most heated of doctors. To goodness and wisdom we only make promises, but we obey pain." And that is very true. You might even say it was painfully true. It was pain that finally got my attention with my knees. It was also the knees that drew attention to the fact that my aortic valve was opening at only 25% of what it should be, which meant that it was 75% closed. In both cases, there were signs that there were problems, but those signs were neither noted nor heeded. With the heart valve, there was shortness of breath and swelling in the feet and ankles. A keen observer might have seen signs of both, months or even years earlier. There are always signs and signals, subtle changes in our energy, and if we pay attention to them, notice those changes and make appropriate changes, self-powered healing changes, we could save ourselves a lot of pain and suffering. What sort of changes do I mean? You might have changes in your skin and complexion, or in your digestion, your mood or energy levels, or other minor symptoms. They're subtle changes for the most part. A year after my surgery, I enrolled in a health coaching course that focused on natural approaches to health and healing, especially on alternatives such as Chinese medicine. I was particularly intrigued by the module on visual diagnosis. Health challenges and illness can first show up on the face and even the tongue. These changes can alert you to an issue in a particular part of the body long before any signs or symptoms of illness are recognized. Can you imagine if your doctor were trained in visual diagnosis? What would healthcare be like if we could always be aware of the energy in our system and be able to recognize when it goes out of balance and make course corrections along the way instead of a system that looks only at numbers coming from a lab? Would we then make those changes? I'm not sure I always would have made the changes. In our youth, we seem to have that attitude that we're invincible. I like to say we think we're 9 feet tall and bulletproof, but we never are. And that type of thinking over time is what gets us into pain. Today, I strive to pay attention to the subtle changes as they show up, asking what each might mean, wondering if it could be a future problem. That's actually a big part of self-powered healing, catching little issues and course correcting so that they don't become big issues.
Thanks for listening today. If you have any comments on this episode or on the whole NaPodPoMo concept in general, you can visit this page to leave comments. selfpoweredhealing.com/November 2024. You can also find a listing and link for all November's episodes on that same page, selfpoweredhealing.com/November 2024. By the way, Self-Powered Healing is still looking for interviews with people who want to share a story of healing. Do you have a healing story? I would love to hear about it and see if maybe you could share it on our show. So if you're interested in sharing, then visit selfpoweredhealing.com/share to schedule a chat. You aren't committing at this point. You're just having a chat with me to see what your story is about. It will be confidential unless or until you decide you want to share. And if you get there and there's not a convenient time for you, send me a message because we'll always find a time. And remember this always: you are a magnificent being with powerful innate healing abilities.